Hello class 6 children, how are you all? Children, in this video we are going to discuss question answers of history chapter number 7, that's name is Ashoka the emperor who gave up war. Let's start. Our question number 1 is make a list of the occupations of the people who lived within the Mauryan empire. Means those people who were living that time in Mauryan empire, which works they used to do. So these works were farming, herding, hunting gathering, trading and handicrafts, right? Some people that time they were farmers, some were herders, they used to tame animals. Some people were doing task of hunting and gathering, and trading means trading material, and trading was going on. Handicrafts, some were making handicrafts. So these were the occupations followed by people in that time in Mauryan empire. Now next question is complete the following sentences. So children, first question is officials collected what? Yeah, blank from the area under the direct control of the ruler. So what they collected? They collected tax. Next is royal princes often went to the provinces. So royal princes often went to the provinces as governors. Their task was to go to the provinces and to do the task of governing there in the provinces, right? Next is Mauryan rulers tried to control blank and blank, which were important for transport. So they used to control roads and they used to control rivers. So roads and rivers were controlled by Mauryan empires in that time, right? Next is people in forested region provided the Mauryan officials with. So those people who used to live in forest areas, what they used to give to the Mauryan officials? They used to give elephants, timber, honey and wax. So they used to give them forest produce like elephants, timber, honey and wax, right? Here next question is straight whether true or false. So the first question is Ujjain was the gateway to the northwest. No, Ujjain was not the gateway to the northwest. The gateway to the northwest was Taxila. So the first question is false. Second is Chandragupta's idea was written down in Arthashastra. No, Chandragupta's idea was not written down in Arthashastra. In Arthashastra, Chanakya's ideas were written down. It is also false. Third one is Kalinga was ancient name of Bengal. No, Kalinga was the ancient name of coastal Odisha, not of Bengal, right? So third one is also false. Next one is most Ashokan inscription are in Brahmi script. Yes, it is true. These almost are in Brahmi script. Now let's go to question number 4. What were the problems that Ashoka wanted to solve by introducing dhamma? You know, Ashoka introduced a new religion, dhamma, which means dharma, right? So by introducing this new religion, what kind of problems Ashoka wanted to solve? So these problems were there, children. See, number 1, people in the empire followed different religion, and this sometimes lead to conflict. You know, in that time also in Ashokan empire, people used to follow different kind of religion, and on the name of religion they used to fight, right? This was a problem, and this was a problem, and Ashoka wanted to solve it by introducing dhamma. Second point is animals were sacrificed. So that time also animal sacrifices were going on. Ashoka wanted to stop it by introducing dhamma. Third point is slaves and servants were ill-treated. So slaves and servants were ill-treated. So Ashoka wanted to generate respect for slaves and servants by introducing dhamma. Point number 4 is there were quarrels in the families and amongst neighbors. Some people used to fight with family members, with their neighbors. So here Ashoka wanted to awaken their consciousness by introducing dhamma. So these 4 points are there, right? So by introducing dhamma, Ashoka wanted to solve many problems in his empire, right? Our next question is what were the means adopted by Ashoka to spread the message of dhamma? To spread the message of dhamma, which means were adopted by Ashoka? What he did to spread the message of dhamma, right? Let's see. So point number 1 is Ashoka appointed officials known as dhamma mahamatta, who went from place to place teaching people about dhamma. You know, Ashoka appointed some people, some pandits, some brahmans, some some intelligent people. And what were their duties? Their duty was, to spread the message of dhamma, to teach people about Ashoka's dhamma, right? It was their duty. So dhamma mahamatyas were appointed and they have been given this task that time. Point number 2 is Ashoka got his message inscribed on the rocks and pillars and instructing his officials to read his message to those who could not read it themselves. Means what he did, he inscribed his messages on pillars and rocks, and he installed these pillars and rocks, these edicts, in different places, and he gave instruction to his officials that you read out these all messages given by me and explain these all ideas and messages to common people who are not able to read this, right? So this instruction was given. So at first point, dhamma mahamatyas were appointed. Second point, rocks and pillars, these were inscribed, and Ashokan messages were inscribed on rocks and pillars, and they were installed place to place, and officials were given instruction to read out these messages for the people. And third one is Ashoka also sent messengers to spread ideas about dhamma to other lands, to spread the message of dhamma. He sent messenger to Syria, he sent messengers to Egypt, he sent messengers to Greece and Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, he sent his son and daughter, his son Mahendra and his daughter Sangamitra. So they went there to spread the message of dhamma, right? Here it is. Children, now see, next question is, why do you think slaves and servants were ill-treated? In that time also, slaves and servants, why they were ill-treated? Do you think the orders of the emperor would have improved their condition? If emperor say that you don't do bad behavior with slaves and servants, so this order improved their condition. And in this it is asked, give reason for your answer. So let's find out the answer. Mostly slaves and servants were prisoners. Number 1. Why they were ill-treated? Because they were prisoners. They were poor. They were poor people, and they were from the lower section of the society. They were prisoners, they were poor, or they were from lower section of the society. That is why they were ill-treated by the people, right? Now answer this part of this question. Do you think the order of the emperor would have improved their condition? Yes, obviously yes. Yes, orders of the emperor would have improved the condition of the slaves and servants. Do you know why? Because he was emperor and he could punish those people who disobey the laws made by him, who disobey his orders, right? So definitely this thing improved the condition of slaves and servants, right, children? So here we have discussed question answers of this chapter number 7, Ashoka the Emperor who gave up war. Thank you.